do it? Make something together?
What? The podcast? Oh yeah, I'm just wondering what we're doing. Start trying. Recording's good. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Raw U podcast, episode number 12. We are going to be doing some announcements today, some trials of the new product we have coming. Very excited. I was just in Canada for the last week or so happy to be back in the Florida side. So I did also miss the cold a little bit. I've been sweating all day right now. And now we're going to take some pre-extreme, and I'll probably be sweating my ass off even more after taking this. But that's okay because I need some energy in me right now. So we got...
bottle? Nah, that's good.
Dom's mixing it up, but we've got EAA lemon lime and pre-extreme lemon lime.
Half an ounce
And
left.
we're pumped about these because we've had the same flavors in EAA for a while, and they're amazing, but we drink them every day, and you get a little tired of it. So we got a new flavor coming out, and this is our first time testing the full
on the scoop.
thing after the sample.
Just go heavy.
How much water am I supposed to put in here?
That much?
Is that
It's
good?
user discretion.
Use that your...
Or you can
Put
the
too much
cat back on
discretion?
It's been a long morning.
Zero.
Wait, are you combining them?
It's yeah. Should I
Yeah.
not combine them?
Well,
Separate first?
yeah.
yeah,
Or just,
Is that heavy? Is that enough scoop-age?
maybe a little more
are we seeing if the creatine unflavored tastes good too?
for maximum.
This is everything.
But we have
coming out
creatine.
tomorrow.
We
Creatine's
should-
coming out again tomorrow.
Fuck with people and make it like... Remember those bots, every flavored
Give
beans
me
or
the
whatever?
lid, you dick.
What do
What are you guys doing? You know
Stealing
those
the
Harry
lid.
Potter
I didn't
beans
take
they do?
We have a
I
table,
don't
and
know.
now it's nonsense.
Yo, let's go. You other children.
What?
You're a child.
Why am I a child?
Kids, you like throwing shit at each other over here. But you remember those every flavored beans from Harry Potter?
Oh, the jelly bean, the nasty ones?
Yeah, and there was like
Yeah.
puke and vomit
Yeah,
and those
horrible.
ones.
I don't
We
remember
should
that.
just make our
Yeah, you
unflavored
do.
creatine
I
not flavored.
didn't watch Harry Potter.
No, but they
watch
had
Harry
jelly.
Potter?
They had
No.
jelly beans that were
Wow.
like gross flavored for Harry
Jordan needs
Potter.
was
to
a
jump in
game.
for this conversation.
Yeah, it was a game.
Did you watch Harry Potter?
Oh yeah.
How did you not watch Harry Potter?
Scott, you watched this cup?
No, it's dirty.
The lid is pretty gross, but we'll just keep that.
What do you mean?
myself.
The top of it?
Oh,
I washed the inside of it. It's scrubbed with soap myself. You'd be all right.
Let's just throw this one out.
You'll survive.
if you a life lesson for the podcast.
Do
right
not
now, when
let
you
John.
when you clean your shaker, open the lid.
Yeah. Also, don't let
Yeah.
John clean your shakers. in
So just
general.
put them back in the
Yeah, he
Dirty.
just rinses them and cuts the cap on and puts them in the cupboard for
MV
them to bake
MVP.
mold
Let
into.
it sit.
MVP John.
All right, this one's a no.
Insider.
Oh, we're doing it again?
No,
really?
he doesn't want the
The
top.
cap and there's gross, crusty
Well,
shit all
Let
over.
me see it. I'll try it.
No. We can't have you dying on this, bro.
He just got
Too
back.
valuable.
I don't know about that. Smells good.
So for context, everything on this table is going to be available tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So before we start this, we have some dope stuff to go over.
These idiots.
Lemon
over
Lime
here.
EAA and Pre-Extreme Lemon Lime are both going to be our new drops for tomorrow. Flavor drops
12 p.m.
Creatine.
Eastern.
is being restocked as well. The shirt that Matt's wearing is going to be restocked,
Blue,
but
or the
not in
gray?
blue.
Oh,
It's
sorry. This is
Damn it, Matt.
this is a one-off.
yeah, and then so this
Just
shirt,
wearing a shirt doesn't exist.
this beautiful shirt.
What we call the Simple R.
Signature shirt.
Yeah, is that
then
is that your size?
This is my size.
Yeah,
Just medium.
yeah.
New from the ground up.
That's
and
it.
then-
And then
The most important one. Maybe.
Savage.
For a minute.
just
For
to
a
give you guys
minute?
a
Yeah,
heads
this is
up,
gonna be kinda quick.
on three-peat. That was weird. Just to
That
give you
was
guys a
the
heads
three-peat-
up
The three-peat noise.
It's the gods, the savage gods.
on the three-peat. It's definitely going to sell out pretty quickly tomorrow, but don't forget that we do have blackberry lemonade and the other Savage flavors in Vitamin Shop also. So if we sell it online, go to Vitamin Shop and raid their shelves.
Yeah, heads up. We're in Vitamin Shop.
Yeah.
Snooze.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Already took a sip.
This is good.
Oh, and the other two pre-extreme flavors also are
Fruit
restocked.
Burst and
Restock.
Kiwi Blueberry. Be restocking.
Pretty good.
So refreshing.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm happy with
I
that.
would like some more.
I did the scoopage
I
right.
didn't make a nasty face, so you guys know it's for real.
I just love refreshing stuff like this.
It's good, yeah.
Especially in EA, you just want to sip on it. Even though I chug it.
Yeah. I really usually don't like EAAs either.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty good. Tastes like lemonade.
Just don't mix it with the three-peat.
Don't do that.
User error on my part.
Are we
taste
also
bad?
restocking blackberry lemonade
Yeah,
tomorrow?
tasted bad.
Blackberry lemonade and rocket candy are restocked like in I think like 2
Next month.
Oh,
It'll
next
be
month?
Yeah.
early April.
Yeah.
Disregard.
I'm a fan.
It was good, huh?
That's good.
All right, now what?
Lemon lime.
I have to get up.
Extreme.
Let me get up. Talk about Vitamin Shop.
Yeah,
What's going
so
on
no, everything's good, man. So we were supposed to initially launch in Vitamin Shop, I believe April 1st. Some of the stores are having the stuff. We're getting tagged in a lot of posts for them. So again, we really appreciate it. We've already gotten some word from Vitamin Shop that the line's already doing really well. And we just want to honestly thank you guys because it's pretty wild. Another good thing that I do want to bring up on the podcast is we did decide to go exclusive with Vitamin Shop. So we will not be going into GNC for at least a year. And that was something that we just wanted to develop and I guess you could say thrive with one company and work with one company just to be able to develop a relationship that ultimately we think is going to work out to our best, I don't know how to say that. It's just going to work out better.
Long term.
Yeah, long term. It's
Long
just
game.
a better play. But we do have even more exciting news because now Revive is also launching in Vitamin Shop in July. So our top 6 SKUs are going to be going into Vitamin Shop in July for
On the
Revive.
men's side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's kind of not just men's though. It's like Daily Greens, GI, liver. What else? Turmeric Plus. I mean, there's a lot of good
Yeah,
SKUs that are.
yeah.
I think the way that they categorize it is like men's health, but I don't necessarily would say it's not just for men.
You want to talk about that? Jump into that a little bit about how they're gonna shelve it.
Oh yeah. So another cool thing is usually when newer brands go into Vitamin Shop, especially as vitamins, they kind of stagger the product throughout the store.
Yeah, because it's by category typically.
Yeah. So we're lucky that they're actually going to combine and put our product together. So you'll see all the Revive stuff in one place, which is exciting.
For reference of people thinking of branding too, and
Yeah.
remember I came in and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck wholesale.
Yeah.
What do you think of like people starting a brand? Where's that balance that you find between the direct consumer,
Yeah.
like e-commerce just through your own site where obviously you have better margin
Sure.
versus like the benefits of being in big stores, Vitamin Shop, whatever it may be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes two ways, right? So, like, the first way is direct to consumer is ultimately why we're in Vitamin Shop. So we've built ourselves up to be a brand that people are, extremely, I guess you could say, excited to be around, be a part of. And, our direct to consumer side of this has fueled them to have interest in us, right? So I think that the biggest and most important lesson is, if you go directly to wholesale when you start a brand, I don't necessarily think this conversation would even happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Because
have
I
to
don't
build the want.
Yeah, and again, like Vitamin Shop doesn't want a brand that's already being wholesaled everywhere else, right? If you're starting a brand as a wholesale brand, you kind of almost eliminate that from ever happening. Vitamin Shop's not going to, I don't necessarily think they would call you. So as far as margins, are the margins as good in Vitamin Shop? Full transparency, they're not. But, what you do get is you get a huge consumer base. You get people who we wouldn't necessarily target if it wasn't for Vitamin Shop. There's always going to be two types of people. There's going to be the people who buy online, and there's going to be the people who want something when they buy it and they want to get it in a store. And, I think that Vitamin Shop also targets an older demographic of people who just don't trust the internet. If they're going to go get vitamins, they're going to get their vitamins there.
You want to talk to someone.
They need
tell them what
help.
to get,
I think a lot of times that's where you see a big difference in successful stores because you'll notice that, the Vitamin Shops have educated staff, and the consumer can lean in on them and get the answers they want, which I think with the Revive is awesome because if you're walking down a shelf and you're looking at a Revive product, it kind of tells you what it's for, right? Like blood pressure. What is it for? It's for blood pressure. So, I would say the average person or, I would say if it was my dad, for instance, and he's going to buy the stuff that's good for his blood pressure, he's going to go into a store with a list of stuff on his phone or whether he writes it down, and it's going to be all the different ingredients that are good for lowering blood pressure. But with our product, you walking down the shelf and you look at it and you're like, oh, it says blood pressure. You pull it, and then on the back of it, it's all those ingredients. That's pretty cool. So, we kind of set ourselves up to be in this position from the beginning, but now that it's actually all coming to fruition, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I would say Vitamin Shop's a good place for beginners too.
Yeah,
I used to shop in
younger
stores
Yeah.
because I didn't know what to do, and you can read all the reviews online.
Yep.
But like once you hear from a person, it's a little better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think when I was growing up, it was more, I think I did bodybuilding.com,
Yeah.
Mm.
but that's like not what
But
it
now,
used
I
to
mean,
be.
even from an accessibility standpoint for younger kids where
Yeah,
they're located
sure.
in cities, with gyms around,
Yep.
it's good to go to get an RTD or whatever, and it pulls you in that way.
When you're
so.
super young and fresh, you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I used to we're trying to get into Canada too, and I'm excited. You're excited to get a Vitamin Shop because
Yeah.
you guys shopped there when you were kids.
Yeah.
I didn't have Vitamin Shop in Canada, so we're working on getting to the stores in Canada.
Yep.
But like when I was young, I never even thought of looking anything up online. I just went in the store and talked to whoever worked there and was like, all right, what should I buy?
Yeah, I think our hard launch for What is the Canadian? What is your Canadian equivalent to it? Is it Supplement King?
There's Popeyes, Supplement
Popeyes?
King, Shop Santé. There's a few.
So those are all. I believe it's the end of March. So the end of this month is when we launch.
Supplement World.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting stuff too.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's growing pains right now more than anything.
Yeah.
You know.
It's going fast.
Yeah,
like
it's
now,
not. I don't even
right?
know if you just say fast as much as it is like, like, it's just a lot more.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more shit that you have to deal with.
What have you learned is like, this could go for all of you. What have you learned going into this now? This is a whole new segment of the business. It's not just throwing something online. What have you learned? What's different now? How do you navigate that? And personally, as leaders of the company, you know what I mean?
Sure. I think it all really starts with time management. I think I've had to really rely on being like extra critical with the time I have and making sure I'm like on my shit when it comes to all the different because there's different facets now, right? You have, now we're dealing with like buying data, right? We want to know like if we're selling, we want to know how we're selling. We want to know how we're comparing to other brands. So now, buying data to be able to see like that's like one of the conversations I had this morning in a meeting was, buying the data to see if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and who's beating us. So we can take that data, we can analyze it and say like, how do we get better than them? Mm-hmm. And then we can see weekly if we are getting better. And if we're not, what do we have to do to change that? So there's so many more, because we can see our own data. Like we can go on Shopify and say, hey, we killed it this month, or hey, next month, we were a little slower. This drop didn't do as well as the last drop. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to like Vitamin Shop, I can't see their data. Mm-hmm. I can't see their number one selling SKU or their number one selling this or that. So purchasing this data is going to allow us to say, okay, like, are we giving our retailers the best service or the best product we can? And is our price point right? And who's our number one competitor? And how do we beat them? And it's like, that's a whole different part of business,
Sure.
So that, and then on top of all the international stuff we just started doing, that's like a whole different world.
That is a completely different world.
So that's,
can't talk about that yet. But
yeah.
when we do it, that's.
That's crazy. So we're dealing with that, and just overall growth. What's cool, I think, is like now I think we can all agree that people are just wanting to be a part of the brand versus like us reaching out to them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've noticed that over the last like few weeks, but it's really it's shifted.
Yeah, that was the number one thing we wanted with the brand. We didn't want to try and sell it. We wanted to build the brand that like was dope shit, dope community, and that dope people behind it helping us, and then people come to you for it.
Yeah, like I never in a million years thought that I don't want to say turn down like a big box chain, but like we did have the GNC call, and after the call we just realized like we wanted to give ourselves to one company, and like the younger me would have never probably done that. I would have been like, this is like, no, like, what do you mean? I have to be here. And like, sacrificing short term to develop those relationships that long term are going to be better for us is hard. It's hard in business. It's one of those things where like people are always like, you always have to do the right thing, do this, do that. But when, this huge check is sitting in front of your face, it's like, fuck, like I'm turning this down. And
how do you
like,
say no?
as I'm saying no, I'm like, fuck me, but we do. Ultimately, you have to make those decisions in order to, build the integrity of your brand. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we started this for like the long-term play. And I think as these opportunities are presenting themselves, we're reminding ourselves of that. We talked about that yesterday, like there's companies that go into this for fast money and there's companies that go into this for longevity, and we're setting ourselves up to be a company that, that does things long term. Yeah,
we're really blessed. Like Revive and Raw both don't have, they're debt-free companies. We've never taken loans from anybody. And like we just had the issue last week, or what was it, last month? How long? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, where like we're all blessed enough to where we make money doing other things, and like granted, Raw has done well for us, but like we need to do a capital call because we're at the point in the company where we need a lot of inventory, and it just doesn't always line up to where we have to put money back into the company. And it's nice to not have to go to a bank or not have to go to private equity and say, hey, I need money, or I need to give you 1% of the company. Like we're keeping it with us, and we're just doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome.
Something exciting I think that's coming. Chris was talking about the community aspect. We wanted to talk about this on the podcast today, was our event in Houston.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, I was already supposed to start that.
You're good.
All right,
it's exciting.
We were waiting to break this one up.
Yeah, so March 26th, guys, we are doing a INAKA and Raw collab pop up at Alphaland.
Yeah, this was a big thing I wanted to start. We're going to be doing more of these, but this is a big thing I wanted to work on.
Yep.
Because obviously I go to Arnold Expos, Olympia Expos, all this shit, and they're just almost too busy to like get to everywhere you want to go, and it's like there's no personal time me meeting anyone and people kind of getting to know a brand. We want to actually host our own events where you're just coming to see us with stuff to sell, cool stuff. And we decided to collab with INAKA, which we're excited for. We're friends with them. We have similar cultures. So we're doing it with them at Alphaland. So it's kind of like a 3-way collab. And we thought it would be cool to do it at Alphaland first because it's like the big kind of fitness icon thing that was just built in the last year. And it's what Christian did is wild. So we're kind of feeding off each other there, but we're really kind of wanting to build that whole community aspect where you actually get to meet us. You guys can come in and actually see Dom, Matt, owners. We're bringing down all the athletes.
You guys can see Chris too, if you want to.
Just
gonna be there.
Yeah,
I'll be like directing the line. Be like, all right, guys, good line here. Dom's over there.
You'll be in the front. Hey, welcome to Alphaland.
No, but the cool thing is, and Chris is getting on this too, is like not everyone that follows us or that follows Chris is really like into bodybuilding. You know, so like when you have to go to those expos and you end up having to like, you know, wait in line for, or, you know, getting into the expo and paying all this money to do this, and you might not necessarily want to, like, this is our way to give directly back to you guys. And this is something, like I said, and Chris said, that he's been wanting to do forever. So I believe tickets will probably go on sale
as soon as this podcast
today.
goes live.
Yeah, as soon as the podcast goes live.
It's a less intimidating, more fun environment, I would say.
Yeah, and
overall.
you can check out Alphaland. So one cool thing about the whole situation is he's not charging. Christian was nice enough to not charge a day pass to go. So you just pay for the event, and it gives you the full day pass to the gym. So it's awesome for anyone who wants to check out the gym as well as see Chris.
Immediately pays for itself.
Yeah, totally pays for itself. We are having some. We do have an INAKA and a Raw collab shirt that we will be dropping at the event. We have 2 different designs, so those will be there for purchase, and they're going to drop online for purchase the same day. Super limited quantity, but those should sell out pretty quickly.
We're going to bring some of the C-Bone Pre with us, have them some tasting there. We're gonna have a little canister of that, so like as you go through the line, when you leave, you can try that out and then go train. That'll be cool.
Sweet.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Get fired up off Mountain Dew.
That's it. Fucked up.
That's our new flavor.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably like, we have a lot of stuff going on. I think we just announced too, we're going to do another collab. This one's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a Ghost, INAKA and Raw collab. This will be the first one, I think, like this too, but for Rolling Loud. So it'll be in Miami. I think it's the weekend of the
July 23rd.
July 23rd.
Yeah.
We're going to do this similar event there.
So like, why are we? What's the point of these events? Like, why do we want to connect more? Why do we want to do more in-person stuff?
Well, I don't even necessarily know if it's like just that. I think it's one, I don't think anyone's really ever, I think in our industry, you've always seen this, like,
it's like cutthroat.
You can't fuck with another brand, or like, it's like, you know, it's wrong, or, you know, everyone needs to be just our, you know, our customer. And, you know, I have, you know, Dan is one of my best friends, and Ryan is, you know, I haven't even met Ryan yet, but I feel like he's one of my boys just because, like, you know, I talk to him almost every day. But they're just good people, you know, and I think like in our industry, and same with Shali, right? Shali and his whole team, and they're just awesome people. And I think if you can take like the whole industry and, you know, get rid of that stigma, I think, I don't know, I just think it's better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like brands kind of act like other brands don't exist.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like people who know Raw haven't heard of Ghost or INAKA. So it's not like we're like ruining our sales. Like, you're going to buy whoever you want, or you're going to buy both. Like, people shop around. It is what it is. Getting phone calls, sorry. But like, so we're just going to kind of have fun with it.
Oh,
Customs
man.
Again.
You said the wrong thing.
No, it's true. You're totally right.
I think too, and like in the supplement world, everybody's like in their own little bubble. And if you look at the bigger picture of companies that are actually doing really well, they're collabing with other companies, you know, and it's like, that's what's successful in terms of outside of just the bodybuilding subculture.
Yeah, I think at a certain point you realize that, and I don't know when it is, but this doesn't hurt your brand. This only help. This can only help. Mm-hmm. You know, in the relationships, and, you know, the just like you learn. Like I learn stuff from Dan every day. You know, Shali and I learn stuff, and vice versa. So it's like, why would you not utilize those relationships?
You can all grow together. It doesn't mean one's gonna succeed over the other.
There's plenty of people. There's plenty of customers. There's plenty of products. Like,
it makes it more fun.
Yeah.
The customer wins at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's something more than just the typical shit that everyone's doing. Mm-hmm. You know, we're doing stuff no one's done yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I can't really go more into that than what I just said, but like some of the stuff we plan on doing this year is literally like when it happens, people are like, this what? Like, what? It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. I think this will be our biggest launch. This is our first actual drop launch.
Like
Like we planned
quite a
this
bit of stuff,
forever.
things.
Yeah.
Things.
How many?
Well, we've been
We've been working on this.
We've
since
been
what,
working
October?
on. Yeah, I mean, we
September,
had
October last year.
last year. Yeah, so supply chain kind of screwed us a lot, but this is the first month that
Starting to
we
come
are
to
doing like
fruition.
the first actual drop, and then this month going forward, we'll have new flavors and new flavors pretty much every month.
New apparel.
Yeah, new
everything.
flavors, new
Yeah.
apparel, new Revive supplements, everything.
Mhm.
So it's pretty sweet.
We're dropping the elbow sleeves tomorrow too, right?
Yep,
First
that's
time.
part of it
Forgot
as
about
well.
that,
Yep.
Creatine's back in stock.
Yes.
So
We also wanted to go over who we want to bring on the podcast.
We're gonna talk about who we want to bring on, or we're gonna. What do you mean?
Like, who do we want to bring on the podcast? We need some ideas.
who do you guys want us to bring onto the podcast?
That's what I want to know.
You want us to talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah. Well, I have a
I don't
list
want to
right
say.
there.
I don't
On
want
the
to say
fly.
someone and then we can't.
And
get
not show
them.
up.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of
Speak it.
totally
Speak
get
it
that.
into existence.
Yeah. Then maybe they feel guilty if we talked about them on the podcast. I don't know.
Maybe.
Spam them.
Yeah, but we have some really good guests lined up too. So we've been like planning. We actually started like planning the podcast out, talking about like who we want to bring on. And again, like I don't know. I know you guys. A lot of you guys like the fact that this isn't all bodybuilding and sport supplements, but I know some of you are like talk about bodybuilding. So we want to have like that
Mix.
comfortable mix of both. Hunter comes into town
Next week.
Next week.
Yes.
Monday, right? Sunday,
I
Monday.
think it's
I
like
think
a few
so.
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hunter will be here next week. So we'll do a podcast with him, which will be good, I think.
Speaking of bodybuilding, I mean, we haven't talked on here since the Arnold. So, I mean, do you want to talk about that a little bit? You want to find out, from
I mean, that was
coach's
your
side?
weekend, bro. Go through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
From the coach's side, let's hear it.
So obviously I had Brett that week over the Arnold week. I was happy with how he did. I feel like from my perspective, from a coaching perspective, I could have gotten him a little bit better leading up. And within that, every peak week, the dynamic nature of peak weeks are different. When we did the Atlanta show, which was last August, he just kind of peaked flawlessly for that show. And what I kept doing is he was a lot heavier this time. So I kept on my own. I was going back to the pictures of, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, and putting them side by side just to make sure from a conditioning perspective, the conditioning matched up, and it did. But the kind of the progress through the final week, he just seemed to dry up and sharpen up a little bit better than what he did at the Arnold. Now, the other challenge with Brett is that he has put on so much tissue so fast that we just simply need some more time for that tissue to mature. So overall, obviously he still has progressed. I was a little disappointed in my ability to peak him for the show based off of what I know that he's capable of, but I know that we're going to bring that. And also as a team unit, we're totally cool. Like it wasn't like a difficult weekend for us as a team. Brett, as a competitor, as an individual, he's very, very mentally stable. So it wasn't like we had trouble in terms of our team unit, team dynamic over the weekend. It was more so that it just wasn't perfect, and that's part of bodybuilding. It's not always going to be perfect. And there wasn't, there also wasn't X's and O's that I could have been like, I should have done this better. I think honestly, I should have just brought him in a little bit leaner into that final week. And then also too, I think the difference between Atlanta and the Arnold was for the Atlanta show, there was zero expectation on him. We knew what he was capable of, but there was no expectation there, whereas this time, because of what he did in Atlanta, there was a lot more expectation externally. And then also we had a lot of expectations for that show internally. So that being said, that's one aspect. William Bonac looked excellent. Obviously we have a 2-time defending champion, 3-time defending champion in Brandon, Olympia champion. Samson, I was probably out of that show, I was the most impressed with Samson, especially on Saturday night. I felt like he looked the best in my opinion on Saturday night. So there was just
the best out of everyone.
Yeah, in my opinion.
No shit.
Yeah, when he came out Saturday night, I thought he was like, if he didn't look the way that he looked on Friday night, based off of Saturday night's look, I think he should have won. But he did jump up because if you guys watched the show, him and Brett were 5'6" on Friday night, and then he jumped up and was being more compared in that 3-4 spot on Saturday. So, but yeah, overall it was a good weekend. I think the challenging part, and I was talking to my wife about it this week, is like I wasn't able to be involved with the meetings and the things with the company that I wanted to be involved in, just because when I coach, I'm just very, very hands-on. And then also from my mental standpoint, I feel like I need to be kind of like locked in the whole time, because if I'm kind of going in and out of check-ins and then back to normal life, like I just don't feel like I have the connectivity that I need to have with my mental focus. So I did miss out on the Raw and Revive side of the Arnold weekend, but overall it was good. Obviously I always want to win, and that's kind of where I'm at, but it was a good weekend overall.
Is that the first time that you've like peaked someone and the second time didn't work like the first time? Or do you think it is just because of the fact that he put on so much tissue? He's like almost like a different person.
Yeah, I mean, I struggled with that with Dallas too. Like his first show together, which was the Olympia, I nailed it. And then in 2016 going into Chicago, the look wasn't the same, but also in that time period, I think he put on like 12 pounds of tissue.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing with Brett. So yeah, I really follow, and for those of you guys that are interested in the bodybuilding side, we can do a whole like peaking process. But when I peak somebody, I just go for one variable at a time. So I adjust food first, then I adjust water, then I might adjust, maybe some diuretic use or whatever's needed, and then sodium. So I'm not changing multiple variables at one time. So the reason why I do that is so if something does go wrong or they're not headed in the right direction, I can kind of pull them back in quickly, rather than changing 3 to 4 variables at a time, and then we're losing sight of, what's working, what's not working. And even if it does work, I don't know why it necessarily worked because I've changed too many things at once. So with Brett, we followed that same process. It's just that sharpness that he brought to Atlanta wasn't quite there, especially through his lower half is what I noticed in his legs mainly. So
Are you planning on doing another show with him this year?
We'll see. So he's going to take some time just to kind of improve, because again, like he likes to use shows as a check mark to see where he's at in relation to where he ultimately wants to be. So he doesn't see the point in competing right now because he wants to get better. For him, it wasn't a failure, but he sees that he's got to move up 5 spots, and there's no point in continuing just to jump on stage if he's not where he wants to be yet. So that's kind of the goal for right now.
Yeah. Chris, what did you think about Classic?
I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, Classic was good.
I think this is like
This is
that was like a show of like people really been holy fuck, this division is like getting intense.
Yeah.
Like I think back to when I was first starting out in Classic and how much the division has changed. It's insane. Like people are comparing Urs to me right now because he's young. He doesn't really have an off season. He hasn't really like locked in bodybuilding. He still like has fun with his life and chills.
Yeah.
Yet he's like coming third at the Arnold or whatever it was.
Well, I mean, this was like Breon's like,
Yeah.
that's tough, right?
Yeah.
Because that was like, it was
And, like,
always you.
Exactly.
And yeah.
And like Urs looks way better than I did when I first started.
Yeah.
When I was living like that, like way better. And the fact that Breon has won 2 Olympias and he just came 4th out of an Arnold,
Yeah.
like that's a big deal. This division is completely changed. And Breon
Yeah.
looked crazy.
Breon looked great.
He's never off. He always
Yeah.
looks really good. So
But it's just showing you that the talent's coming up now.
crazy,
You
yeah.
know, and it was weird to see. Like it was
Yeah.
weird to see Breon not in the top like 2.
It's crazy, yeah. And I mean, I had Urs beating Ramon, but Ramon showed up looking insane.
Sharp.
Absolutely
sharp,
peeled,
yeah.
like peaked 100%, looked amazing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, it lit a fire under my ass for sure. Because it's not going to be an easy Olympia anymore. Ever.
No.
Yeah, there's other guys, there's other tall guys, other guys with similar physiques than me. It's not just like apples and oranges of me and Terrence. It's like an array of different people who have a lot of potential. So it's definitely going to be interesting this year at the Olympia.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how, and they're also young. It was been how many months since the Olympia? 4?
So it was October, so
4
Five,
months,
yeah.
4 or 5 months, and they've all improved like crazy. And they went
Yeah.
through like a month maybe of off season, and
Yeah.
then another prep. Like now they have like 9 months of the Olympia. So I know they're all super young, and going to make a lot of changes again.
Yep.
So time for me to get working. I'm the old guy now. I think I'm like the oldest guy now.
How old is Urs?
22,
24,
23.
yeah, I think maybe.
And then Ramon?
They're right there. Right
I think
there.
he's
Same
little.
age?
I think
I
he's
think
a
Ramon's
kid.
like 26-ish, right? 25, 26 or no?
I'm not sure. He's pretty
I don't
mature
know.
for his age, I think. But he has a kid and like a wife. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
I think I saw.
I did not know that
baby.
guy didn't speak a lick of English.
0.
He's so nice, though.
He's
I
very
met him
nice.
a bunch of times at the Arnold, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Chris," and I'm like talking
He
to him.
just
I'm like,
hugs
"When do
you.
you come back to the States?" He's like, "No English." I'm like, "Okay, like congrats on the Arnold." He's like, just nothing. But he's a super nice guy. Him and Urs too.
Yeah.
Urs is the most positive human I've ever met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cool.
He's just
Yeah.
always happy in a good mood. So it's also awesome that Classic is just like everyone's just having fun, enjoying it. It's super chill.
Yeah.
So it's excited to be a part of it.
Did you enjoy the event overall? Is like from all the meet and greets and signings and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean it was crazy for me this year. This was because it's been COVID for a while. I haven't been into an Arnold in 2 or 3 years now, and I
This is
don't
my
do
first
Olympia
one.
expos because I'm competing. So like it was a smaller expo, but I couldn't like walk through without people harassing me and
Mhm.
chasing me.
Was that
It's
smaller
super
than the normal Arnold?
Yeah,
It was.
It seemed like a
I
lot.
wasn't even there. I didn't even go.
It was, the expo was a lot
Okay.
smaller and less people. You couldn't even walk through some of the past ones. Like you have to like turn sideways to get through. But it was still a good event. I think they minimized it a bit because of COVID. They weren't trying to like,
Sure.
you know.
I thought it was ran pretty well.
it worked.
Right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
I mean, your Hani thing was really cool.
Yeah, it
And then the panel with Arnold, that was pretty legit.
How was that? I wasn't even there for that. Was it cool?
was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything, but
What?
yeah, nothing. It was good. It was good.
Was that at the?
It was this main stage. It was
Okay,
on the main
okay,
stage.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it was definitely cool to like see Arnold and like chat with him a little bit behind the stage, and like he told me he wants me to do a show really bad, which I mean makes sense, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't line up for me. Everyone asks me when I'm going to do the Arnold, but it just doesn't line up for me.
Yeah, it fucks up your whole off season.
Exactly. Yeah. I need to like take time off, and I just want to win Olympias right now. So
Yeah.
that's the only goal.
That's all that matters.
Dom did some meetings, and that's going to segue into a lot in the future.
Yeah, the meetings were awesome. I mean, I can't really talk too much about a lot
Yeah, I
of them,
know.
but I mean, we have some really cool stuff happening.
It was
so-
cool because each one of you did something different.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. It's
Yeah.
like, as you know, I've only been with the company for a year, but even as the outside watching in, like, it was always together
Yeah.
for the two of you, and then obviously the three of you when you came in, Chris. But then each one of you had some facet that expanded the business, I think, as a
Well,
whole.
if we were
and
all good at the same
relationships.
thing, we wouldn't be great partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So I
what
thought
I
it was
mean?
pretty cool to see.
It's true.
Yeah.
So,
Each one of us has a strength that the other doesn't.
yeah.
And I think that's why we work so well together. And I think we also respect that
Each other,
about
yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So like, I don't question Chris when he has marketing ideas. Obviously I don't question Matt when he comes to anything to do with formulations, and like when it comes to business, they trust me. So
Yeah.
it works out really
No,
well.
it's really cool. It's really cool to see. That was the first actual spot I ever got to see that when each of you were in your own vertical.
Yeah.
So that was excited to see how that evolves in the future.
Yeah. It's nice because now it's like, I don't mean to say this in like a negative way, but like this is like the real business of the industry. Whereas like before it was like, I didn't get to do this, you know, and I
Mhm.
come from like this is like where I thrive. Like this
Mhm.
is like what I do my best in.
Mm-hmm.
So like going from, you know, obviously like doing the like those small back end stuff for the business, but like these types of business deals, and like this is what I'm great at.
The
So
networking, the
yeah.
relationships, the
Yeah, and just
the
like big
long-term
deals,
plays.
big business
Yeah.
deals, you know. So like this makes me feel like I'm being used for what I'm supposed to be used for.
Yeah. I feel like that's something that a lot of owners need to learn too, is getting through the shit, all the small stuff. And as you build your team and do that, and then you can look at, that's what you were talking about too,
Yeah,
the
we didn't
long-term
rush it.
goal.
Yeah.
Well, you
we
just
didn't-
you don't chase those meetings. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you never do, right? You want them to come to you, and whatever, however long that takes is how long it takes. But then just knowing that when that time comes, the execution needs to
Yeah,
be
nail it.
flawless.
Yeah.
Same concept of trying to get girls.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't just don't live your life
Yes.
trying to get a girl. You focus on yourself and you make yourself desirable so that they want you.
Yeah.
Don't chase them.
So take this podcast back to the first second and relate it to women
Replace
Replace
the word
everything
business with women.
with women.
Yeah.
Chris's advice.
Be a man.
Views
Become,
just multiplied by
be worthy.
5x
Title, How to Get Girls.
Gotta
No,
get
but
it.
it's true. You know,
by
it's,
C-Bone.
it's totally true.
Yeah. No, it's
So-
really
It's
cool.
how you live your life and everything. You can't go chasing shit,
Anything.
asking for anything.
Yeah.
You can't beg for anything. You got to make yourself worth it. Even
Yeah.
in getting a job, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Don't just beg for a
It's
job.
crazy. I don't
make
know if you
yourself
guys saw. I
worthy.
made a post about this morning on my story because I was asked twice, like how I got to where I was at. So and they said so fast, you know. So I kind of like
Where
put
you
it
been
in
the last 12 years?
I kind of put
However
it into
long.
context.
I hate when
like,
people say
yeah,
that,
like
man.
it really hasn't
Overnight?
been fast.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked until I've gone to bed since I was in 2011. You know, so like
Yeah.
it's not fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. I will preface that by like what we have done is we've done very quickly in our industry, but I don't think that people understand like all of us and what we've done to get to where we are today.
Mhm.
So like it looks fast because you know Raw's a year and a half old, but like what we've learned through all of the other things we've done has put us in that position to do that.
for
Right.
sure, yeah.
You know, and I think from the average person looking in, I get that's like the number one. Oh, so proud of your like super fast success, and I'm like,
Thanks.
like thanks, but fuck you, kind of. You know,
yeah,
like,
it's a backhanded compliment.
yeah, it's like, you know, you have no idea.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I'm not going to complain. Like I'm super grateful that
Sure.
it's blown up as fast as it has. But this has definitely been out of everything the fastest.
Mhm.
Like this has been like buckle the fuck
Also a
up.
double response of being like, you didn't see what it is, but it's also like, we're just starting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
people
always
said that
say
to me
that.
3 years ago. They're like, well, you're so young, you're successful. I'm like, I'm not yet.
Yeah.
I'm still not, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm not
I feel
there
like
yet.
that's the old person in us though. Like we're just getting started and it's like maybe we're not anymore. I don't know. Like
Maybe, yeah.
I catch myself saying that sometimes, like even with the clinics, and I'm like,
Well, the clinics,
They're
That's a
4 years,
stretch
but
for
they're
that.
4 years old.
I guess, yeah.
You know, they're only
pretty
4
new.
years
It's
old.
really not that old at all.
So like every time I talk to, you know, like a private equity group or something, and I'm like, you know, we started in the end of 2017. It was like basically like January 2018. They're like, wow, like you're just getting started. And I'm like, I have no hair. Like I'm fucking bald. Like if that's what you want to call just starting, then yeah. But I feel like I've been doing this shit for like ever.
Yeah.
And but I do catch myself. But then sometimes I'm like, damn, am I just like saying that because like I don't want to say that I'm like been in it for too long? I don't know. It's like a toss up, right?
It's definitely getting there.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that. Like I said, I'm the old guy now. I'm the oldest guy in like
That's
the top
and
4
think about
now.
how crazy that is.
Like I was started when my first time on the Olympia stage. I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
I'm fucking 32 years old.
I mean, how old was you met Lee Haney? I'm sure you met him before.
Yeah.
You talked with him a little bit. How old was he when he
I
was
love Lee
last Olympia?
He
Like
he
30?
retired at 28.
28.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. You
I'm
said
pretty sure he
you
retired.
said
29,
won a-
28,
You
yeah.
said he won a ton and then just
He
disappeared.
won 8,
Yeah.
and he's like,
he's the
"See
fucking
ya."
ultimate G. I
Yeah.
love him.
But some of those guys are, I mean,
I hate that he doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
some of those
I don't know
guys
why
are
he
older,
doesn't.
right?
I don't know.
Mine
I
says
think he
so
does
awesome
with
too.
the right people.
What's the right people?
Well, right,
know?
yeah. I'm not saying he's disrespected.
But like he should be the
at
one
an
that we all
expo,
looked at
yeah,
to. Is this is how you do it?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
At an expo, he's not the one with the line,
No.
and every time that just like bothers
But
me.
you also have to remember too, at the expo, like he's like right at the cuff of people not knowing who he is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
the-
if
you know,
he
the
did
young-
what he
yeah.
did 10 years later,
Yeah.
he would absolutely be the longest line. But people just, I mean, there was no social media. There was like, it was totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you have VHS tapes of that motherfucker on stage? Like, I don't know.
And he was like the
about it.
last like non-chemical freak, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like
It's wild.
Smart,
so, yeah.
humble, good mindset on everything in life. Cool
Yeah.
dude.
No, he lives in Georgia. Actually got a lot of time with him when I lived in Georgia because there used to be this like gym in Georgia called House of Pain, and it was Steve
I've heard
Payne's
of that.
gym. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
And he used to be there all the time because he has like a personal training thing. It's like ISSA or
Yeah, the certification.
some type of
yeah.
certification for like prep coaches to take. And he's like very, very active in the Georgia NPC. So I got to like talk to him a lot. He's a super nice guy. Yeah. Super, super nice guy.
Yeah. Chris asked me, he's like, you know who that is? I said, Lee Haney. He goes, how'd you know that? Name tag.
I saw his name tag.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, so then we actually have wrap up the podcast with
Yep.
what are we doing now? Next travel is
So we have the INAKA event.
It'll be Houston first.
so yeah, we're
Yep.
Houston then, and then we're in Dallas for the Vitamin Shop
Conference.
which we
And-
will be sampling our RTDs at. So we're hoping to get our RTDs out by what was it, August? I think
It's
August.
summer, yeah.
Yeah, August.
Summer.
And then I think that's really it for travel.
Miami in July.
Miami in July.
As long as it shakes out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah,
good.
It should be good. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. It'll
That'd
be
be
a
cool.
fun weekend, Rolling Loud weekend. Matt, you got to put your party pants on. Okay. Are you getting the fit? Are you getting your fit picked out right now?
No, I'm just gonna try to not look like full dad mode.
Got it.
Maybe just half dad mode.
Maybe we'll just work out. Start
You
working
still ordering
out.
tickets for that?
For Rolling Loud? I think
Yeah.
we're going to have to get like a table or something. I'm not sitting in
You don't want to just
Crowd.
get
You don't
in
be in the
mosh pit?
crowd? No?
Absolutely not.
Shoulder to shoulder?
Yeah.
All good.
People could be taking selfies with you and not even
You
enjoying the
wouldn't even
fucking
be
music.
It'd be a mosh pit of cameras taking
That's
photos.
great.
He's like, who's that? I don't care. Chris
There's
is here.
probably normal enough people that they wouldn't know who it
Yeah.
was.
Maybe.
A few.
Dope.
Yeah. Very true.
Cool.
I feel like the EDM scene though, and like the festival scene and the fitness scene are so intertwined now though.
A little
They
bit.
are.
Yeah.
Like very intertwined.
Yeah.
I feel like most of those people would definitely know who you were.
Okay, but it's like Jeezy, Gotti.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. I don't know, man.
They don't know.
It's
Better
Kanye's.
be
guess
careful,
that's not
bro.
really
Kanye's
EDM.
You're gonna
there,
see.
right?
You're gonna see Meek Mill drinking Raw pretty extreme pretty soon. Watch.
Yeah.
Watch me work.
we got to get Kanye posting about it. After his
crazy
church,
was
in
that?
between
After
his,
destroying
his
Skeet.
Kim posts.
Yeah, those kill me. That is the most entertaining page. I have post notifications set up for one page, and it's Kanye West. Because he deletes it so quick, too. I'm like, I'm not missing this. It's so he just roasts.
He's
the
smart,
shit out of
dude.
people.
He is so. People like underestimate that guy's like intellectual like
Yeah.
ability. To
How
just,
is the quality of the sound on the device?
Can you? What is
It's
that?
not very good.
What is
It's not
that?
very good.
So apparently you have to like plug it
It's
in.
like
I think
his-
to get down to 2. It wasn't actually even on it yet when I got it.
Okay.
So like it's hard
What's
to
it called?
use.
Can
Stem,
you explain?
stem
What,
player, right?
It's a
Stem
little
player.
speaker, right?
It's like a
Yeah,
Google
it's like he
Home.
makes
It's like
you
older
buy
than
it.
the iPod. The original. It's like looks ancient.
All right. So what is it? Like, what's the point of it?
It's just he's making you buy that to get his album,
And it just. But
and it's
can
like a
you-
little speaker.
Can you take it off of it, or does it only play in that thing?
I haven't even tried yet. I'm not
Did
sure.
you listen to it?
I got it right before I left. I like turned it on, and it was the first Donda album that was on it that I heard. And like the buttons are hard to move through, and like you can like adjust the sound levels of different parts of the song with like stuff. So you can like turn off the vocals and like up the instrumental and like different shit. It's weird,
Okay.
but like the sound quality is not great.
Okay.
It's $200.
But he's still the most searched person on Spotify, even though the album's not on there.
Yeah.
Or the most listened to.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean,
Well,
he
he's
was
the
the
goat.
number one trending story during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He beat the Super Bowl during the Super Bowl.
That's wild.
There was a line in his documentary too where Cootie, the guy who was filming it for him, he like disappeared and did this, and he wanted to like launch his documentary way back. And he's like, Kanye told me, he's like, no, you can't. Like, need to keep this hidden because I'm not ready for people to see the real me yet. Because he was like, you know, acting out, doing this crazy shit. And I'm always like, is this
him?
Is this a ploy?
Yeah.
Is he like that smart and doesn't give a fuck? He's like sitting on his throne right now, laughing at us all, talking about him, like hanging out with Pete Davidson, even
Yeah.
behind the scenes, just like these fucking idiots, you know, just capitalizing on it. Or
I
is he
mean,
actually? Cause I know he
believe it.
has had like mental health issues, and he was put in the hospital for like psychiatric help and shit at one point. Like,
I
he's
don't
had
think he
struggles,
likes Pete Davidson.
but Yeah, I mean, no, probably not.
I mean, but I do think there's a part of that that's true where he literally, this is all planned.
Some of it is just
It is totally.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
the characters at B will change based off of real life.
yeah.
But I think everything he does is so strategically done that it almost makes him look like he's crazy because no one would ever think to do that. And then he does it, and you're just like,
But you
Just got
have
us
you
again.
have to watch it.
incredible.
You
Yeah,
have to watch
you
it.
can't
You
stop
can't take
watching
your
it.
eyes off of it.
Yeah.
His
Fair enough.
documentary is hands down
Yeah,
one of
sick.
my, like, I was watching, I try to compare it to like the Michael Jordan one. And like, I don't like, I mean, I love Michael Jordan, but I don't like love the documentary.
Really? I liked it.
That was okay. I just couldn't
That was
relate
good.
to it as much as like, I really enjoyed Kanye.
Well, that's
documentary.
that's the problem I think with Jordan is that
Can't
like
relate.
you can't. He's not let himself be out there enough to
Yeah.
relate to him.
Like
Whereas that's why so
Kanye,
many
like
people
that
relate
was
to
the most
Kobe.
real documentary I think
Oh,
I may have
fuck,
ever
yeah.
seen in my whole life.
It was.
You know, like literally ripping his fucking teeth out in the.
It also, man, listening to Through the Wire after the documentary,
It's a whole.
like,
It's a whole new song.
I didn't even hear him
It's
saying.
a whole
He's
new
like, I don't
song.
know if you can fucking understand me. Right? He like says
Yeah.
that, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's like you understand the reason of, and like all the words of the song. I have
Mhm.
goosebumps. Like everything just makes more sense
Yeah.
now that I
Mhm.
listen to it.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's like the number one played song in my truck on the way to the gym right now.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
It's also a great like
it's a good era.
that documentary
Yeah.
is a great like vision of like what creates success.
Yeah, and just
Like it's a little
men-
intense, but like he had absolute belief in himself from the very
Oh,
beginning.
yeah.
his mental
Like, didn't give a
fortitude was
fuck. Didn't give up. Got
crazy.
turned down
Yeah.
a million times. Like all this shit because he knew he would be the greatest.
Yeah.
But no one else, like literally no one believed in him. He was just like they're like stick to your beats.
Yeah, and imagine
like, nah,
like
fuck you
imagine
guys.
going into to Rockefeller and like playing your song and everyone just continues their day.
Just ignoring you.
Like totally fucking ignores you.
How
Like
many people you think are gonna try to do that now? Just walk into a building and just.
I don't
be that?
think that that's
Well,
a
it's
bad
like he had
thing.
the connections to get in because of
Fair.
his.
he produced.
He was
Yeah.
producing.
But it's just
Yeah,
like
you're
not
right. You
giving
get the
up, right?
relationships.
Like everyone's always, and it's that really is the truth. I mean, obviously you have to have some type of like a plan or whatever it might be, but like
Sure.
if you don't,
You have
if
to be very talented.
yeah, and just I'm not talking about in music. I'm talking about in general, like in any sense. Like you just have to like do it.
Yeah.
Half the people who don't
Yeah.
do it just don't. They just don't do it,
Eh.
and he just goes.
Yep.
This is dope. That was one of my favorite documentaries for sure.
I just wish it was longer.
Yeah,
3 episodes isn't enough.
Yeah.
yeah, it was really good. Is he opening more, or is that it? That's it.
Well, it was called the Genius Trilogy,
Okay, so, no,
So.
that's it.
Maybe it's part of the plan.
right? Trilogy, and there's 20 episodes.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Consensus
I
of
mean,
the
even
episode.
just the patience that he had to hold it this long though is cool. Like nowadays, everybody films it and it's out
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Like
they
filming
don't hold.
2000.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Props to Cootie.
Yeah, I think that's just different too now because of social media. Like everyone's life is just like a documentary.
Yeah.
If you allow it to be,
Right.
you know, like if you give, like I mean, like your YouTube is literally a documentary.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you do that regardless of the facts.
We're going to pitch it
But-
to Netflix next year.
There you go.
Should. Absolutely. All right.
Wrap it
That's
up.
good, right?
Yep.
Episode.
Yeah, that was good.
All right.
Episode
So,
13, Chris.
It's live now, right?
It'll be live. It will. Yeah.
Like very
This was
soon.
13?
Yeah. You said 12
Was
at the
it?
beginning.
Well, you said 12.
No, he said 13.
Oh, I said 12.
So this will it be just about live? No, it won't be live yet
For what?
for the launch. It's going today. This is going up today.
Well,
Yeah, and launches tomorrow,
12 p.m.
Yeah.
12 p.m. Eastern. St.
Yes.
Patty's Day.
Correct.
Were you drunk? Kegger?
Kegger.
At
Matt's house.
12 sharp.
Housewarming party.
Lemon lime on St. Patty's Day.
It was
works.
planned.
We're green. We're
was
green
meant to
tomorrow,
be.
everybody. All right, that's it.
Yeah, done.
Episode 13. See
Sweet.
you later.
Peace out, guys.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you what's that. I didn't. See, I feel like even if we went in like, all right, let's talk about we all watched the Kanye documentary.
That was
And we
easy.
have
That was
something
easy.
we're interested in. Then we can. That's a conversation.
Yeah, that was
We're not looking at the cameras. We're talking to ourselves.